Novak Djokovic and controversies go together like fish and water. But this time around, he's been caught up in a new controversy during the Australian Open. And no, believe you me, it has nothing to do with vaccines. Even more interestingly, it actually has nothing to do with Djokovic himself, but rather his father, who has been caught up in the controversy this time around. But what exactly is the controversy? Why has it caused such a storm? And well, what exactly has Djokovic said about it all? So let's quickly take a look at what exactly has been the major element of controversy. It is that Djokovic's dad was in fact pictured ahead of the Australian Open quarter-final match of Djokovic against Andrei Rublev. He was pictured alongside some Russian fans who just so unfortunately happened to be wearing t-shirts which were pro-Russian right now, and more importantly had Russian flags with Vladimir Putin's face plastered all over it. These are the pictures, or some of the pictures, that have in fact been doing the rounds on social media. So here you can see very clearly Djokovic's father has been highlighted on with the picture. This flag has in fact a picture of Putin. There's another picture here in fact where you can see very clearly that he was posing with these fans, and quite naturally this has in fact caused a lot of trouble because we know for a fact that there's a war going on currently in Ukraine that the Russians have started, and obviously something like this can very much be seen as a political message, or at least an indirect, or not an outright direct let's say a stamp of approval of sorts, or showing solidarity, showing support. Naturally, this is something that is going to cause a lot of problems, and this isn't really even the first sort of a controversy of this sort that has been around regarding the Russian flags in the Australian Open. So the Australian Open had in fact banned Russian flags from being on display during the matches, but this unfortunately has just a lot it's the optics of it, let's just say, are a lot worse, because don't forget, Djokovic is always seen as someone who attracts controversies, and this was something that didn't go down very well. There was condemnation from all over. Social media was up in uproar. But according to Novak himself, in this case, his father really wasn't up to anything too bad. In fact, he's come out, defended his father, and given an explanation as to why exactly this happened. Djokovic said very clearly after his match against Tommy Paul, his semi-final, which incidentally his father actually didn't attend because he was just afraid of the backlash or afraid of doing something more controversial. Djokovic said that he was passing through, he made that photo, and unfortunately it's escalated. He was misused in this situation by this group of people. That's what happened. So according to Djokovic, really it's just a case of mistaken identity and an honest mistake on behalf of his father. In fact, Djokovic actually said something that most people would have doubtless thought of when they saw this. He said that I'm sorry that this has escalated, but I hope people understand that there was no intention to support any kind of war or anything like that. Now, Djokovic has further gone on to add that, look, I'm someone, me and my father, all of us have actually lived through wars. Now, of course, it's a well-known fact that Djokovic, when he was a child, at that point, the Balkan Wars were still going on in that part of the region. So Djokovic himself has lived through war, as has his father. And he said that, look, neither him nor, I would actually want to endorse any such message which comes across as one that is supporting a war that is going on in Ukraine right now. However, that has, of course, not really dampened the controversy down all that much, because, as I said, the Russia-Ukraine war, it's something of a sensitive topic for very obvious reasons. The conflict is still ongoing. Don't forget, even in the Australian Open, Russian players and Belarusian players aren't allowed to compete under their own flag due to, of course, Belarus being Russia's ally in this particular war. So there's definitely a lot of controversy around, and even though Djokovic has come out and given a pretty good explanation, it does seem like this may not be the last we've heard of this. Of course, Djokovic would hope it doesn't distract too much from his on-court let's say battles, because he of course will be playing the Australian Open finally, be taking on Stefanos Tsitsipas, and he is an odds-on favorite to actually win the Grand Slam. So this was a controversy that he could have done without, but as I said at the start of the video, controversies and Djokovic go together like fish and water. Now, what do you guys think about all of this? Do you think that do you buy Djokovic's explanation? Do you think it was just a case of a bad situation? Do you think there's something deeper? Well, you can let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment. Don't forget to follow us also on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and don't forget to download the AajTak app as well. Thank you all for joining us. I hope to see you with us through the evening and night. For now though, goodbye.